Livestream is on. Let's test it out. See if this is working. Get my... Okay. My stream. There it is. Testing, testing. Okay. Stream. There it is. Testing, testing. Okay, cool. I guess I can put this up here. Now give me the... Oh, yeah, you can't really... Can you hear the mic? Hello? 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 Alright, well, I'm here. And it's kind of working. And I'm going to head over to chat. Pop up there. I thought I would be able to use this, but it says that I have to, in order to do the conversation, I have to get a mic that uses a 3.5 inch, 3.5 jack. I have to get a mic that uses a 3.5 inch, 3.5 jack. Okay. Well, at least it's it would be heard. So tonight I'm going to be working out, and we're going to start off here. We're going to be using the landmine. So I'm going to drop 25 off of it. And then we'll get started. So that's starting off with 8 at 125? Yeah, 125 pounds to start with. That's just counting the plates. I'm not going to count the I'm not going to count the bar. What I like to use is something like this. Super easy. It's just a little Pomodoro timer. Does a little countdown at the end of a minute. I know my rest time's over, and then I can swap that out for the next one. Okay, timer's up. Let's get another 8 in. That turned on. And we'll go. So that's set 2. We set for 1 minute of rest. And then we keep going. So I'm going to sit here for a second on my sandbag. And I will say the landmine is probably one of my favorite instruments for working out. Super inexpensive. If you have a bar, or you can get a bar, you can even put a tennis ball on the end and put it in the corner of the room. Like if you have a room corner so that that tennis ball can sit right in there. And then you have a great method for making pulls. So that's set 3, and I'll probably end up doing set 4 and 5 at the same weight for 8 reps, and then we might throw that 25 pounder on there and go for another 5, and that gives me a little bump at the end just for growth. Now, if you're looking at this, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, you already see a small problem. And it's the fact that those 45-pound plates are so wide that as you're pulling it up to your chest, you're actually hitting yourself with the 45-pound plates before you can get full range of motion. So we'll do 1 more minute of rest, and then as soon as that minute's done, we'll do the 25 after this last set, and then probably 2 minutes of rest, and then during that, I might do 3 minutes of rest, and then during that period, I'll put the weights up, line the bar up for another exercise I'm going to do later. And then next on our list is going to end up being kettlebells. So I like to overhead press. one. So we'll do 1 minute rest. Five last ones, just with a little bit more weight, just to round that out. Tonight's mostly pushing and pressing. Obviously this exercise you're pulling, right? Next one will be a push, and then we'll go back to pulling, and then I haven't decided if I want to do sandbag, because I might do sandbag, or I may do infinity ropes. So we'll see. All right. Five more. Yeah, that's good. I did more than enough on that one. I'm happy with that. There you go. This is another thing it's worth getting. It's called a bar jack. Show you how it works. Take it, put it on the bar, and then you just roll the bar right up off the ground, and then there you go. And then these weights, rack them up. So, next piece. Do some kettlebells, overhead pressing. Probably warm up for just a few seconds, just with some gentle rolling of the shoulders. Stretch your arms out, get them moving. It's not a lot, but it's just enough to just get your body moving. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. So that's 8 on one side for tonight. And just because I'm going so heavy and I've already warmed up with something that's pretty heavy, I set the kettlebell down, give it a few seconds, not a full minute, doesn't need to be like complete rest, and then we'll bring this thing back up into the rack position. So we're here, we grab and then ooh, hold on, ooh. Give me a second. I think I might cheat clean just on the left side. I've already been doing grip work from the day before. I felt that I was bringing it up, but we're gonna do that. So 2 hands back, up, and then press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then bring it back down. And so what I'll do there is 8 on each side. We're going to do 5 sets of 8 reps. I usually do 10. Tonight we're just doing 8. It's not that big a deal. And then as soon as that's done, we're going to go back to the bar. I'm going to have to move the camera so I can show you the next piece to this. We're going to do some more pulling style exercises. And then we'll finish the night off probably with another push of some sort. I don't know if I'll potentially end up doing dips or something like that. And I may. Even if it's just body weight, I don't know. We'll see. See how my forearms feel, how my grip is. And this gives me a little bit extra time because I'm setting it for 2 minutes instead of just 1. It gives me a little bit more time just to let my arms rest, catch my breath. But for the most part, when you're working with kettlebells, I think that you are gonna find a little bit of benefit from at least keeping yourself moving. You want to keep going. Like, you can take a moment to rest and get a little relaxation in, but then you're gonna want to get right back into getting the bell back up over your head or doing your swings or whatever it is that you're working on. You don't want to spend an inordinate amount of time pausing and resting because it's really not as much weight as you might think. You know, at competition, they were having us pick up 215 pounds. And that's overhead, right? 215 pounds overhead. So 71 pounds overhead with each hand really comes out to like 142 pounds total. So you're not working anywhere close to the maximum, right? You're not moving 100, 110, 115, 120 pounds over the top of your head with each hand. You're doing significantly less, 30, 40, 50 pounds less. So don't hesitate to keep it moving. Keep going. Seconds. Whew. And then we'll get her back up in the air. We'll finish off with this piece. So it's another 8 down. Whew. And we'll keep knocking these sets out. And then there we go. Just gonna get the heart rate down. Get a little bit of rest in between. And then we'll jump back into it. And I really like kettlebells. The nice thing is if you don't have a lot of time and you don't have a lot of equipment, you can do so much work with a weight appropriate kettlebell. And I think what you'll find is that a lot of people have a very negative opinion of kettlebells simply because they don't use the appropriate size bell for their body weight and their strength. Because if you're a big guy like me and you're 270 pounds, a 15 to 25 pound kettlebell is not going to do very much or anything for you. But as soon as you start looking into 55 to 70, you start hitting into that weight range. A single kettlebell will carry you for probably a year to a year and a half, maybe even 2 years of training before you get to the point where it's really time to start looking at, okay, I'm probably going to need additional equipment. I got to do more stuff, because we can do essentially everything, right? We can do pulling exercises. So you can do even deadlifts. It's like single hand deadlifts off the ground with a single bell. Well, I'll keep talking my smack here in a second. Let's get this set done. 10, 15, maybe 20 seconds with the rest in between. And again, if you were just working kettlebells, now would be a great time to bring it up, change hands midair, and then bring it up. But for tonight, I ain't trying to be about all that. I've already done well over 120 something pounds, 130 pounds on the row. Tonight's a heavy night, so we're good. Now then, like I was saying, with the kettlebells, you do push, so overhead presses and lay on the floor, and you can essentially chest press. We can do pulls, so we have everything from deadlifts to suitcase lifts, suitcase carries. So starting from the top down, we can work neck, traps, we can work into the chest, we can work abs and obliques, you can work the whole midsection, you can move down into hips, so we have things like hinging type exercises. You start getting into swings and deadlifts and things like that. That allows you to work your hamstrings and quads and really get in there and work the lower body. And when I first started working out a couple years ago, all I did was kettlebell. That's it. That's where I started, was lifting I started with a 45-pound kettlebell and started off with, I remember being very nervous, scared I was going to drop it, I was going to let it fall on my own head. Doing the swings, I wondered, like, am I going to be able to hold on to it? If I swing and let go of it, is it going to blow a big hole in my wall or something? I remember all those kinds of newbie fears. And then over time, probably about 8 months later of just doing it, I realized, oh man, I'm gonna need a heavier bell. And I was so afraid to waste the money at the time buying maybe like a 64-pound bell. I ended up jumping straight to 71s. And right there on that last rep, I just gave it a good full extension, just held it up there. And that's as much for me as it is like me mentally as it is me physically, right? Because what we're doing is we're getting that bell up in the air, and we're just holding it there for a few seconds. 3-5 seconds. You don't have to count to Mississippi or anything, right? You just get it up there, hold it, and then bring it back down under control, and then bring it back down all the way to the ground. And that just helps you keep that like full body hey, this is what I'm doing with the weight. So you're not just tossing it up and throwing the thing up in the air and using momentum. You want to remind yourself every rep up, every rep back down, we're under control of that bell. And if you need to slow it down for a few seconds, just to keep that in mind, just so that you're not using momentum to bounce it, then that's okay. It's totally okay to do that. Just give yourself the seconds. And I was talking too much. Hold on. So now, a little bit more rest, and then we'll continue. But yeah, I bought the 71 pounder because I was so scared that I was gonna buy a 50 or a 60 and just outgrow it. And when I first got this bell, I was kind of scared of it. I tried to lift it and I wouldn't be able to lock out. You know, putting 70 something pounds over the top of your head of just pure metal. You know, at the time I felt like, even kind of asking myself, like, I've been doing this for like a year and a half, so why am I continuing to do this? Why am I pushing to such a heavy weight that now I'm starting to scare myself? And I think it took probably 2 or 3 nights of making the attempts. You know, I try to do the exercises with the heavier bell, and then I have to roll back to my lighter bell just to get the exercises done. And then one night I just got, I wouldn't say I was frustrated with myself, but I was like, hey man, you got to do this. If you're going to do it, you got to do it. You got to stop holding yourself back. And this is the same thing that I think I experienced with the axle press, because yeah, you're pushing 200 pounds over the top of your head. So you feel that moment where you're like, oh, I could really hurt myself here, right? Like, knock on wood, God forbid, if I don't do this right, I'm putting my physical well-being at risk. And yeah, after all those nights of being kind of nervous, I just finally just made myself do it. Give ourselves a second, and then we'll fill the bell up, knock out the other side, and then we'll have one set left. I think I'm going to grab some water real quick. right, other side. We got one more set to do, and then that'll be it for the bells. And then I've got some pulling exercises I gotta do. Essentially, it's a body row that I'll do off of a barbell, so it'll be like a bent leg barbell body row, and that's a progression for pull-ups at 270 pounds. It is much harder for me to do pull-ups than I thought it was going to be. I can do with grip towards me, grip out, man, I can't do it. I have a lot of problems with it, and I'll admit that. I'm not embarrassed about that. Doing full pull-ups, I can do them, but they are incredibly uncomfortable. And so I want to work on strengthening some of those areas where I'm still weak related to those body movements. And my personal philosophy here is, you, regardless of how strong you are, if you cannot move your own body and you're in a position where basic manipulation of your physical being is either impaired or otherwise impossible for you to do, then your strength is probably not worth very much. And I understand there are, hold on, I'll finish this thought in a second. Anyways, I understand when you're a guy doing like World's Strongest Man, you can make a lot of money, you can become wealthy, you can do all of this stuff, right? And that's awesome. But if you cannot stand up after being knocked down, if you cannot bend over and pick up your kid, if you can't move around, then you have probably done yourself a tremendous disservice, regardless of whether or not you can overhead press 465 pounds. Right? But there are a few of those guys. And I look at dudes like Mitch Hooper. He's very impressive. And the thing that impresses me most about him is he hangs around with a lot of body weight, body strength athletes, and he is capable of doing many exercises that a lot of the other strongmen cannot do. And he's done these like, challenge me to an exercise and blah blah blah, and he, gets in there and does pull-ups and does stuff that I think your average person, even normally proportioned, could not do. But he is able to do it, and that is very, very impressive to me. And there we go. So I'm going to set this kettlebell back. Working out together. I thought more people would be interested in this. Alright, let's get this kettlebell put back. As soon as the kettlebell's back, I'll flip the camera around. So, man, this thing is tilt locked, huh? I think this thing see. Oh, how the heck do we do this? DJI Osmo. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm having to Google. How do I enable? Okay, what is it? Is it gonna let me do this? Maybe not. There we go. Jeez. Alright, got it. So, next piece here. This is gonna be pretty easy. All you do, get your bar, and once you got the bar, you get mounted to your rack. I'm just using the holders here, and I'm gonna have my legs bent. So we will lay down. And here. And going to go up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's it. So you're holding yourself up and grabbing, your shoulders are tight and you are extended up off the ground and you're just pulling yourself up. And that is it. And I totally forgot my timer. So now I gotta stand up and get it. So for this one, I'm just gonna do probably 5 to start with. I might do more. We'll see. Maybe do some regression. Start with 5, then move up to have more until we're done with our 5 sets. So we'll see how we do on the reps. I have no idea how that's gonna go yet. But we're only doing 1 minute rest intervals before sets. All right. Let's see if I can send this. Schedule. Share. Had to send an invitation. Oh, let's see what happens now. Oh. All right, at the bar here. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. That's 7. And now we rest for another minute and get a breather. And if you need water at this point, get some water. My trainer was there. So yeah, that's a few. Oh. Man. 7, 8, 9, probably 9. This next one, just bump it up by 2 every time. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, that's a 9. So we'll get through. Set 3. Maybe on the next one I'll do 10. and then walk it back down. I don't know yet. Progression, I think, is 2 sets of 20, and I could probably do them, but I just don't feel like the next step in that pull-up progression. I just don't feel like I'm there yet, right? So we did 7, 9. Maybe we can do 11. I don't know. We'll make the decision, I guess, right now. This will be 4. Okay, we did 9. That's good. So on my last one, I'll just bump it down to 7. And so we did a progression up and then back down. And that's good for doing body weight. That's fine. Boy, you can really feel that in your hands. Whew. Alright, last set. We're going for 7. That's 7. Alright. So we'll rest 3 minutes. Tired. It's hard. That was rough. There we go. 45-pound bar. Oh, excuse me. Right back up. And so, last piece. Have to decide. I think I can do some dips. I think that's fine. I'll do that. I can take these out. Right here. That'll be. That'll probably be good. I don't know. We might lower this. I'm not sure if people care about seeing the feet dip or not. We'll see. That excites anybody? Nobody cares about that. See how that goes. Get that big back behavior. All right. All right, we're just gonna do 5. That's 5 body weight. And we'll do 1 minute rest. And then we'll jump into finishing up with our last sets. And then if I feel up to it, maybe we'll do a bonus or something like that. But typically, you need 4 exercises to work out like successfully for a night. And then once you're done with your 4, maybe you have like an auxiliary lift, something that works a muscle that you can work relatively often. So maybe bicep curls or something similar. And you know, if you hit 5, great. But as long as you do your 4, you're doing a great job. That's all you need. And 4 exercises per night on a relatively regular basis. That's all you need. Fast. Usually I do them with a weight belt, but for tonight, I'm not doing it. I've actually got the weight belt right here. So you take something like this. It's just a Rogue belt, got a chain on it right there, and you can step through and you put a little weight in between, so you can use a kettlebell, you can use a plate, you can use whatever you want, and then you just let it hang in between your legs, kind of like this, and you grab your thing and you lift. And that is a great way to add a little bit more difficulty. Once you get to where you're regular doing 10 body weight dips. You get to 10 body weight dips, you're good, right? And I'll see if I can show you. If you notice, I lean forward onto it, engage the chest a little bit more, and then just down and up. So your elbows are kind of rubbing up against your body right in through here. And that is a great, fantastic way to get your triceps and your arms activated, right? You can really get in there and get the triceps going by doing just that movement. So that was 3. So we have 2 more sets. And again, this is one of those exercises where, like, if you're a hefty dude, you need to be able to pick yourself up, right? Because ultimately, you can stand up straight and you can put it at an angle, and it's just become a big brick, right? If you're muscular, you can suck your body up into a specific look. Nobody cares. But if your big back self falls over and you can't pick yourself up without help, then you're doing something wrong, player. You got to be able to take care of yourself. So being able to do some dips, be able to lift yourself up, it's important. All right, 1 set left. Knock out that last set, and then we'll see if we're going to do anything else. But yeah, you can even see I'm getting vein, and you know, your forearms get worked, your biceps get a little bit of it, triceps get a lot of work, and like I said, your chest starts getting activated. The dips they're just the king of exercises, really. Dips and overhead pressing. Those 2 things are so fantastic. They will build mass, they will build strength, and they will build a lot of capability into what you're doing. That's 5. It's fast. It's fast. It's easy. It doesn't take a lot to get through. Okay. There's that. Stretch yourself. Just a little, give yourself an opportunity to cool down, and I haven't decided. I think that's it. I got my 4 exercises in. You know, for cool down, one of the things I can do actually is not that hard, and it's not super difficult. It's called an infinity rope. I could do a little bit of that, and we'll do that after our little 3-minute break, and then we'll just hit infinity rope, and then we're good. So that gives us 5 exercises tonight, and like I said, 4 is great if you can do 5, and I'm just doing 5 just to flex on people, right? I'm on live stream. I want to look impressive. I hit my 5 exercises, and these are all upper body. We're focusing real heavy tonight on traps, triceps. We're looking at chest, and we did 2 pull exercises, 2 push exercises, and then we're going to finish off with a pulling exercise. So we're well covered. Tonight was a really good workout. A lot of items that we went over. There's no there's no concern on my end. And then next time I work out, I'm gonna do lower body, I'm gonna hit legs, I'm gonna hit in through here, abdominals. We'll do maybe some farmer carries and some squats and so on and so forth. Go. All right, let's do this. One, that's it. 10 on each side. So essentially you're counting to 20. And then 1 minute break. And all that does is force you to pull on that rope. A lot of people do it for minutes. So you'll set a time of like 1 minute, 2 minutes, and you just do as many as you can. I'm just using it as kind of a cool down. We're going to do 20 5 times, and then that'll be enough. And then everything else is just a little bit of stretching, maybe a little hang from the bar again, take a few deep breaths, and then I'll go have my protein shake and maybe take a few of my supplements. I've got like fish oil and stuff like that I take, and then we'll be done, and then that's it. That's the whole thing. And so my time with you all will be done here in a few minutes, and then I've got a little bit of aftercare to do, but then that's it. That's 2. And you can feel that in through here. I've already been doing the dips, and so you can feel in through your triceps as you're moving that rope. And it's actually deceptively simple. It's just kind of a little metal hoop, and then they run a thick piece of rope through it, and you tighten it all down. It just hangs right off the side of your rack. And it's not adjustable. There's nothing to it. You know, if you want it to be more difficult, you just go faster. But it's a great cool down. It's a great warm up. You can do it, you know, kind of as often as you like. When I first put it up here, I would just walk by and grab it and start using the rope just because it's convenient. What, 3? We'll do 2 more sets of 20, and then that's good enough. we got one more to do, and then that's the whole workout. That's everything. So just to recap, we did landmine rows, and then we switched over to overhead presses, and then we did effectively full body rows off of a bar. If you ever do like convict conditioning, what they would refer to that as is table rows, because you'd usually use a table to do it. And again, that's a progression for pull-ups. And then that was what, 1, 2, 3. What am I missing here? I'm missing one more exercise. We did, what did we do? We did landmines, overhead press. We did this pull, and then we had one more push. Didn't we? Oh, dips. Being crazy. I got dips. And then we finished off with the ropes. That's it. No more. So you set it for 3 minutes. That's your final rest. And then right now it's just kind of move it out. Get some of the blood flowing. Make sure that you're all done there. Maybe do 1 or 2 hangs just to get them done. And then I'm gonna reach. Touch toes. Oh, hey, awesome. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. That's cool. I just got a text message. Somebody let me know that they decided to tune in. So you're right at the end. I did my full workout. You can see I'm pretty sweaty. But I did some rows. Got through the rows. We did about 135-ish, maybe 140 pounds on the rows. And then we did body weight rows using the bar. So like a tabletop row, like convict conditioning style. And then the next thing I did was dips. And they were just body weight dips. We didn't do any kind of additional weight. But I was showing my belt and how it works. But today it was just body weight. And then I did overhead pressing with the kettlebell. And then we finished off with some infinity rope. Just pulling the rope. And that was the full exercise for tonight. So you guys caught me right at the end. But yeah, thanks for popping in. Where was this? Oh, I'll have to look in a second. It's so funny because people are sending me text messages instead of chatting inside the box. So I can tell they don't have accounts. Nobody's got an account. They're just watching for free, which is cool. That's totally fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I'm going to be doing game streaming. I've got a schedule set for Wednesdays and then Fridays. So in the evenings, I'll do about 3 hours each night. And then I'm just trying it out right now to see if there's any interest at all in doing like a, hey, let's do a workout and talk through things. The whole night, I just, as I hit different exercises, I explained what they did and why. Here it goes. And I talked a little bit about some of the things that you can do as alternatives. So if you don't have gear, like if you don't have a rack, that's okay. You can use a table, right? So I so happen to have a rack, and I got the pull-up bar, and I got all the extra stuff. So, but if you don't have that, but you've got access to like a table, or if you can even go to a park and get access to like one of those tables, you can crawl up underneath it, grab it, and then you can just pull. And so you can do body weight rows. You can do, if you can't do chest presses, then you can do push-ups, right? If you can't do, let's see what else. If you don't have like a leg press machine, Smith machine, squat machine, you don't have anything like that, that's totally okay. Just do body weight squats. It's all about just getting started, taking care of yourself, making sure that you're healthy, and doing what you can. Because like I said, when I first started with the kettlebell, I started with 45 pounds, and I didn't have enough money to buy another one. So I jumped straight up to the 71 when it was time to upgrade. And that was hard. It was hard to go from 45 pounds to 70 pounds. And if I could go back in time, I probably would get myself maybe 255 pounds and would have used those. But now we're doing the 70s like it's nothing. And I have a 97 pound kettlebell over here that I have used, and I can press it. I can lift this thing over my head. But I'm not going to progress to the 97 pound until I am able and fully comfortable working with a 71 pound in each hand. So that's my progression step. I got to get to the point where I'm not just doing single overhead press. I'm doing a overhead press with each hand, kettlebell in each hand. So I got to be able to essentially front rack 142 pounds and put in the work from there. And then that's my sign. Once I'm able to do that comfortably, then it's time to start integrating 97 pounds into the workout, and so on and so forth, right? I think once you get to a 97 pound kettlebell, it is time to start moving into Olympic lifting. There's no reason to continue going to heavier kettlebells. I just don't see a need to have a 150 pound kettlebell and try to front rack that and lift it and do all the stuff, when it would be much easier for you at that point to start moving into just using a barbell, right? And the barbell is going to save you a lot of money over a $600 kettlebell, depending on who you buy it from, right? You start going to Rogue or any of these other companies. So anyways, with that said, I'm going to go have my protein shake. I'm going to shut it down. Thank you for joining me this evening. If you make an account, you can follow me, and every time I go live, it'll tell you that I'm either doing a workout or I'm doing a show, right? And this is all like a soft launch right now, so eventually I'm going to go fully live, and I'll do an announcement and tell people about it, and et cetera, et cetera. But I'm just trying out the equipment, seeing what works, what doesn't work. I can't use my microphone, so you're using the microphone off the camera, which doesn't sound nearly as good as it would if I had my microphone, but you can't live stream and have the microphone connected at the same time. So I'm learning, figuring it out as I go, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So thanks again. Thanks for joining me tonight. Stay safe, take care of yourself, take care of your families, and if you all need anything, let me know. And yeah, I'm gonna shut it down. Good night, everybody.